ओके बॉयज आ गए हैं साल के वो टाइम पे व्हेन वी आर येट अगेन सरप्राइज। अरे दिसंबर साल हो गया। Fuck,
ये
ये
अरे
साल
साल
गया
भाई कितना
कहाँ?
फास्ट टाइम
फास्ट
कैसे
जा रहा
चला
है।
गया इतना फास्ट।
तो एज
हाँ।
यूजुअल ये साल भी चले गया है फास्ट और अब आ चुका है एक पेटी महीना विच एडजस्टेड फॉर इन्फ्लेशन इज
इस 6 पेटी
चार पेटी
महीना।
में चार पेटी
चार
महीना।
पेटी महीना, out of which two पेटी is GST,
यस
which you are giving.
भाई the number of memes that have gone insane is like it's all the GST memes. I've never seen an entire generation just go after the GST meme so hard.
And
Like
the
वो
नो वो
बेचारा
problem is,
वो चेस
most
ही
of
वन द चेस कंपटीशन, सब लोग उसका जीएसटी कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं कि उसको 11 करोड़ मिला है तो अब ये 6 करोड़ जीएसटी देगा या जो 4 करोड़ जीएसटी देगा।
वो तो
ये
सिर्फ,
सब उसका कैलकुलेट कर रहे
but for a generation that does not make enough money, they really make enough memes, huh?
हैं।
No, but
ओह
Bhavat, the other thing is, like people have found out what stuff they were consuming because of GST. So there
या
was this one ice cream, okay, that used to claim that they are a natural ice cream. फिर पब्लिक ने देखा, अरे इस पे तो 18% जीएसटी है. The reason
बिकॉज
was
इट्स
because
एडेड शुगर।
it was a synthetic ice cream.
तो उसमें अच्छा तो शक्कर डाला होता तो जीएसटी लगता।
नहीं,
हाँ, so
शक्कर में हायर जीएसटी लगता है। हाँ
no, no. so So
हाँ।
caramel popcorn is higher GST than salted popcorn.
Caramel, because it is a synthetic flavor. It's not actually caramel, right?
नो बट द थिंग
So
इज शी इज पुटिंग कैरेमल पॉपकॉर्न पे 18% जीएसटी। कैरेमल पॉपकॉर्न एक एक बेंचो तो वो बकेट भी 4 करोड़ रुपए का तो आता है।
But
ठीक है
if you do
उस पे तो
caramel
और
and salted mix, then what happens? So only the salted part you get 5% and then बाकी का तेरे को 18%.
हाँ तेरे को
Yes. So
खाने में मालूम पड़ेगा।
you will be priced at a thing, but knowing PVR, they will give you two caramel popcorns and charge you
या
for full caramel popcorn.
Going forward, you know how you used to sit with your friends and you used to calculate the bill जब हम लोग पकड़ थे and
अभी
we used to sit
caramel
and
popcorn खाते
हाँ,
खाते
तो जो लोग ने ज्यादा वो किया है, जिन लोग की वजह से जीएसटी ज्यादा पड़ा है होटल के बिल पे, तो उस हिसाब से भी कैलकुलेशन होएगा। ए प्रकाश, तूने ये हाँ तूने कैरमल खाया, तूने कैरमल पॉपकॉर्न का तेरा 18%।
ब्रो एक एक इसका सोल्ड कार्स पे भी अभी कुछ हाई जीएसटी लग रहा है। तो somebody put some
कि मैं selling my
calculation.
car, I am making less money by
Yes,
selling
but
my car.
you are giving more money by selling your car. तू गाड़ी बेच रहा
पे
है और तू ही पैसा दे।
Guys, वो बकवास है। If it is lower than your buying price, you're not going to be charged. It's all
It's a
like I
fleet.
don't know why people have gone crazy.
No, no, it's a fleet
ए
conversation.
साले तू उधर यूके में बैठ के हम लोग को क्या गोली दे रहा है? इधर इधर भर रहा है कुछ,
Guys, I have
इधर
been
भर रहा है।
keeping up with all the हाँ तो मैं
Are
तो
you
भर ही रहा
paying
हूँ
up?
ना।
You're keeping up with the difference. Are you paying up here?
अरे he
हाँ,
has
of
to
course
ना.
I'm paying tax.
He has to
I'm
pay
earning
tax in
money in
India, no?
India.
He has to pay tax in India, no? बेचारा आदर, वही तो स्ट्रेस है. चलो एपिसोड शुरू
हाँ
करते हैं.
Hello and welcome to the final two episodes of the Internet's Head Show, a show where we take random missing made-up facts that develop little stories and we talk about it. And when I said final, I meant for 2024. We are not shutting the podcast down.
No?
And yes, we are doing little cheating because what we are doing is we are doing two parts for today's episode. So we'll end the year at episode 249. And after which, in Jan, we'll see you for a very big 250 episode celebration. तो आज के लास्ट दो एपिसोड्स हम बात करेंगे 2024 के बारे में. सो बताइए बाबा, फर्स्टली वेलकम, थैंक यू फॉर
yeah.
gracing the occasion and giving us
That
yet
too in
another reason
daylight.
to write. Baba is back as a topic. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
When like he disappears for some time and then whatever the topic is and return of Baba is
Baba. If we just go through the year, it's the number of times we've written return of
Hey,
Baba.
no, yeah, bro, one sec. Okay, this I
Baba, at this point, you've had more relaunches than Harman Baweja.
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
1 second. I just want to clarify a few things. Okay, Adar Bichara,
बता
when he went to London and he
हाँ
was studying and all of that, it was tough for him to show up. At that point,
What
he
is this whataboutery?
it's not what
yeah
about me. I am saying he also missed episodes. Okay. And then I also missed episodes once the thing, but I think more or less it's the same number of episodes.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
okay, yeah.
Is that your sorry? Because
It's
I
not.
didn't hear
Sorry,
any
to I've
word
said
that
sorry to I've
began
said
with
many times.
saw.
I've said many times. I have said sorry, but I'm just saying that like मैं सौ बार बोला है, but
Oh,
ओहो
but
वाओ ओके
but
बट तू अभी आ ही गया तो आज पूरा टॉक टाइम तेरे से वसूल करते हैं. बता 2024 तेरे लिए कैसा रहा है?
Yeah, what were you doing when you
What
weren't
the
on the
what the fuck
podcast?
did-
Yeah, what were you doing? Let's find
In
this
the
out.
first half, when
Huh.
of Arey, bro, I don't remember anything after May. Okay, it's a blur after
What?
May because I switched
Why?
jobs, na, in May.
Ah.
Then I
So tell
just
us about that, bro. How does it feel? Because you've changed your job after what, a decade, being in a
Yeah.
big fucking company
a
at that
decade.
position, working with intense brands, and now
And now you're a bouncer. So how does that? How did that change your life?
No. I think when I was going, also, I think I remember having this conversation with Kautax about the responsibility and what it is and stuff like that. I mean, this is also still FCB and it still has global brands, global accounts. And here the role for me was slightly different. And what I was going for, I mean, I'm happy, but I'm also tired. Like at the end of it, I'm
पर
also.
वो तो तेरा डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग है ना, टायर टू डिफॉल्ट, वो तो चलते रहता है.
But I think that
You know, it was really funny when Bawa was on a sabbatic, like not in between jobs, right? So
it was
he called
literally
me.
1 week, bro. What?
Exactly. He called me and he's like, bro, I'm so, like I'm exhausted after, I was non-stop into it. I need to, I need to take some time off. I need to relax. And then the next call again. So I've taken this other job. It's even more high pressure. I'm so and by the way, I had told him this when he called me. I said, as much as I have known you, this facade of I need a break
Yeah.
is just you lying to yourself for whatever you want, whatever insidious reasons of your own.
It's
But
Dude,
you
the only
cannot.
time he took a break when we were in Amsterdam and we were roaming around, and there was no agenda to the day. We are just roaming around. And Bawa was the most miserable I have ever seen
Miserable.
him.
Like if he, at this point, getting notifications, emails, calls on his phone for him is normal. So not getting that is abnormal. And then he starts, like, his blood pressure starts rising
Palpitating.
slowly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you put yourself in his shoes. This dude has been like on the job, working
Yeah.
what 30 hours a day, non-stop for the last
So those
however
are very,
long we know
very
him.
stinky shoes. Very stinky shoes. Because
Yeah,
he's
and
just
then
been there.
suddenly you tell this person, "बैठना घर पे." So I can literally imagine Baba sitting in his seat and just
Yeah,
कि नहीं
shaking.
मुझे कुछ तो करना है, कुछ तो करना है, तो
You
उसको
know what
हमने uncensored
what
करा
it
है.
was like?
By the
You
way,
know what it was like, Thakur? You know what it's like? Have you been to a zoo, right? And you see those animals, right? Who are just put in a cage,
Just
right? And
pacing.
then they just pace around angrily like that. Like just मैं निकल गया ना तो देख क्या हाल करूँ तेरा. It was-
Sorry, किधर था हम लोग? भूल गया.
तू अपने साल के लर्निंग्स बता रहा था हमको बाबा.
Learnings. No, I think one of the biggest things is that I know y'all haven't seen it, but like I've become a lot calmer than what I was in almost every.
ये नया स्टैंड अप लिख रहा है तू?
Arey, I didn't know you were starting like acting. Achha, this is well done, Baba. This is what you're trying to prove on stage.
I've
No,
become.
but how you became calmer?
I just think age one. I think I
How
don't
much
think.
more do you want to age to become calm?
Okay, guys,
So-
this is a guy who during the podcast, we were doing a live podcast yesterday. We were doing a subscribers only, and Baba during the podcast has called the cops on a party that is
Yeah.
happening because he couldn't stay for like podcast चल रहा है उसके बीच में पुलिस को फोन कर रहा है.
Anyway, the point was, I think they have also blocked my number.
I don't think police can block.
ये बार-बार फोन कर रहा है स्पैम साला.
Spam.
कुछ
इतना
बातें
पार्टी तो
मेरी
हो
है
भी नहीं
नहीं.
सकता.
Anyway, no, so I think I've become a lot calmer in terms of the other great thing is that I've been able to I've stayed cigarette free whole year.
Wow, that is Baba.
So from
Yeah, that's
October 23 to like full cigarette free, like excellently.
What was motivation trigger to change?
I don't know, bro. I just think at some point I don't want to go like like when I'm climbing a
That's
flight
true.
of stairs, right? Like so I just think it's that. Plus, I think I've wanted to do it for a long time. And I think the most beautiful thing about May and October in Bombay to quit cigarettes is it is so hot. It is so hot. You cannot go down and smoke. it's not worth, the cigarette is not worth it. So,
And come December, the AQI feels like you're smoking anyway. So
Yeah.
it all
तो
works
तू
out.
देख रहा है बाहर क्या चल रहा है. मेरे को बॉम्बे में ऐसा ना, मैं पहले उठाऊं और थोड़ा हवा चल रही थी, so it was still like coolish. I didn't need the AC. I woke up, I look out, and I'm like, fuck, it's giving Shimla fog.
It's giving
Oh,
Shimla.
oh.
हाँ, ठीक है. मैंने खोली है खिड़की और ब्रो
Oh no.
गला पकड़ लिया. दरवाजा बंद करो, and then you could actually feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
I could
Yeah.
feel it. I could almost taste the
Yeah.
fucking dirt that's in the air. It's never
Yeah.
been this bad. Like, it's been bad.
Yeah.
No,
But
but that's also because all of Bombay has decided to redevelop at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
So it's not just the fact that we're getting a metro and like all of this. It's all of Bombay that has decided to redevelop every single building that is older than 25 years at the same time. And what's happening here in Bandra, for example, is that for the number of buildings that are coming up, the sewers and the electricity pipes are not built for that much supply and so much so many residents. So they've had to, in those tiny lanes, have had to dig to be able
Yeah.
to keep up with demand of what's going to come. And
And
so
the
So, and then
funny
the
thing is-
cars are displaced. So now
so
all the
all of
cars also
Bandra
standing
is,
in random places.
yeah, so all of Bandra is, right now Bandra is a crater. There are no roads in Bandra that you can drive into, right? So
Bro, they did the same thing for a street. A street they had concretized, okay, after putting multiple crores. I don't know, 14th road, 16th road, कोई तो एक जगह था. तो उसका पहले का फोटो दिखा है. And then last week they started digging up this newly concretized street because they had forgotten to put a water pipe.
अरे ब्रो, वन सेक,
तो खोद रहे हैं उसको वापस.
ब्रो एक मिनट, तुम लोग मेरे घर पे आए ना, मेरे घर पे इधर बाजू में सामने एक वो टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया का एड याद है पुराना, डिग इट अप 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 डाउन डिग इट 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 डाउन, यही चल रहा है
What?
ब्रो. 6 महीने से कोई खोद रहा है, बना रहा है, फिर
Yeah,
खोद
yeah.
रहा है, बना रहा है,
बना
खोद
रहा
रहा है, सेम खड्डा. ऐसा भी नहीं कि तूने ये किया फिर 10 मीटर ये किया फिर
अरे
10
उसका
मीटर.
कुछ घड़ी वड़ी रह गया होगा, कुछ हो गया होगा, बच्चा छूट गया होगा अंदर.
God, it's ridiculous. The amount of times different. How can they not have a coordinated effort to say we are going to do all three things at the same time and ruin them for 1 month, as opposed
Yeah.
to ruining them for 1 month 3 times?
Bro, this was also the year where you've heard of this new age chori that is happening because there's so much construction all across Bombay. And like at any point of time, if you're digging and some other dude is digging with you, you're not going to question him. So we're like, हाँ चल आजा भाई, ये बहुत करना है, तू भी कर. तो robbers are getting into these khaddas, pretending to be the guys who are doing the khaddas, stealing copper wire and copper
Abey,
this
Thakur.
and this one that,
Thakur,
going out and selling it in the black
one
market.
second. Can I just add one thing to that story? They didn't even join people who were digging. They just came and started
Yeah.
digging.
Yeah.
So when people walked by, they just saw कि लोग खोद रहे, and they just
हाँ.
assumed, of course, लोग खोद रहे.
खोद रहे, yeah.
And they just, at some point, someone went, BMC को पूछता हूँ. But the part of that thing that was the best was they had taken out MTNL wires, and MTNL didn't realize that it was gone.
Arey, because who is using
Because
an
nobody is
MTNL
using.
landline anymore?
That's what I'm saying.
For what?
They were just like, आप complain कर रहे हो क्यों? आप use क्यों कर रहे हो?
MTNL calls you and come, अरे क्यों चल रहा है अभी तक तुम्हारा लाइन, रखो. हटो, मोबाइल नहीं है क्या?
Dude, you know something? If you can, please invest in JCBs. Because the
Yes.
number of JCBs that they have sold, the number that are being deployed, it's the biggest
Kautuk,
market in the country at this point.
But what happens when you have to sell it and you have to pay more GST on the JCB that you have bought? What do you do at
Then
that
you just
point?
cover it up with caramel.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Sorry, learnings, back.
back to learnings. Just I think
Hey, but how did you, sorry, for those people who might want to, who are smokers who want to quit, what is the one
Cold-
biggest thing that you could tell them?
Coldie. I'll tell you what it is. The most I have wanted to do this I have actually been able to quit twice in my life, right? I have quit successfully. The first time I had quit successfully all the way till
Isn't that you have quit successfully? How?
No. I have quit successfully for almost 4-5 years, Varun. It wasn't a week long. Like I had quit all the way, 2000 and I think like 10, 11, almost till maybe later actually, 12 to almost 16. I was smoke free, bro.
Wow.
I didn't smoke. Or basically more than 2-3 years, I was smoke free the first time around. Then mom and all happened, so little I think just I picked up again. But for me, I think the most key factor in your head, it's not about willpower, because everyone has willpower, right? Or everyone will be able to survive. But for me, I think one of my biggest advantages compared to a lot of people who want to quit smoking is that I don't drink at all. So I don't socialize, I don't drink. So because I don't socialize and I don't drink, I am
You
never in
don't
that
socialize.
situation. Yeah, I'm not in that situation where I have to. I understand a lot of people because of the social situation,
Bawa,
have a cigarette and a thing sometimes
I
if they're smokers, right?
I really like this thing कि a smoker comes up to Bawa and says, bro, smoke के लिए चलेगा? And Bawa's like, नहीं.
Like,
And the guy's
I don't
like, क्यों? You don't
socialize.
smoke? He's like, yeah, I don't
I don't
socialize.
socialize.
So, so anyway, so the point is, you get what I meant by socialize. Like I don't.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no,
So,
correct.
so I think for me that's a very big advantage. So I appreciate other people who tend to be in a situation where
You have
when
to be
they're out at
lonely and
parties and all,
sober. That really helps. What else?
Yeah.
I think
So-
you have to make up your mind. Like your brain has to say, um, uh, like I'm done
Abas.
with this. Like this is the final. Like I don't think I need this anymore. Like it's there needs to be a clear and at least for
Bro,
me.
you know one other thing that
Yes.
I've heard from other folks is this. Ki they say ki they have basically they realize that shit, I'm just doing it out of habit. I don't like it. Like I don't like the taste. I don't like the going out and smoking in the heat. I don't like any of the smell, the
It's
all of
the
that, right? The black lips. I don't like any of it.
Wait,
So
you're
why
talking
am I
about
doing it?
socializing or smoking now?
Both, both.
I hate the taste of socializing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the minute you can identify that and rationalize that part, yeah, I don't like it, and I'm just doing it purely out of habit, then you start, I guess, one
Yeah, so
factor.
there's that. And then I think cold turkey, that's really the way to do it. I know it's hard, but cold turkey. There is
Awesome.
I
What
just
what
want to
else
be able
happened?
to be done with it before there is some like conversation with a doctor. You know what I mean? Like you want it.
Yeah.
You don't want that to be there is अभी fuck अभी तो करना पड़ेगा अभी तो डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया ये नहीं चाहिए उसके
ये नहीं
पहले
चाहिए।
और
उसके
वो
पहले
स्ट्रेस
करना
के
है।
चक्कर में तू और फूकने लग जाता है
Yeah.
अरे
So
यार ये
so
छोड़ना पड़ेगा डॉक्टर ने तो बोल
Varun,
दिया।
one line on the other side of the horizon I can give you. So I have a friend who also was a smoker for a long time and then quit, has been cigarette free for almost now a decade, or I would say that much. His plan is once he reaches 65, he's going to start smoking. Because he's like,
He's
if
going to start at
he's going
65.
to I restart. Because he's like, now I've made it to 65. Now I don't mind, like I want the pleasures of the cigarette that I have given up on.
But if
Now I want.
Acha, you've given up on. Acha.
He's given
Because
up.
Because
there's people who've not smoked, and it's worse if you've not smoked till that age and then you suddenly start smoking, as opposed to sometimes you read an article के, oh, 90-year-old woman has been smoking for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
वो body को आदत पड़ गया है.
पड़
Don't
गया है.
suddenly वो like,
No,
I'm
don't
65
smoke.
now.
Guys, one
मैंने कभी
second.
किया नहीं है. अभी मैं चालू करेगा.
No, don't smoke. It is the worst habit that you can ever develop. Just do not pick up a cigarette. It
So,
is
like so many times people will try and tell you don't smoke, and then you'll be listen because you know that you're not supposed to smoke. None of the smokers think that, oh, we should smoke. Okay. Nobody is like, अरे cigarette तो ये ना वो तू आदत पड़ गई उसको छोड़ना, then you give it weird justifications कि अरे अभी स्ट्रेस में हो इसलिए स्मोक करा रहे, अभी तो खुशी में हो इसलिए स्मोक करा रहे, मैं ट्रैवल कर रहा हूँ तो स्मोक कर लेता हूँ एक, अरे
No,
खाना
no,
खाया
and
पेट
there
भर
is
गया
a-
स्मोक कर लेता हूँ, सोने के पहले एक फूक लूंगा ना फिर मस्त नींद आएगी, सुबह उठ के एक फूक क्या पट्टी आएगा, तूने एक एक करके तू जस्टिफिकेशन देने लगता है कि
Bro,
क्यों
but-
तेरे को वो सिगरेट की जरूरत है.
Bro, but Varun, one sec. I just want to say to that, there is no truth. There is only truth behind all of those things. The cigarette is your best friend in that scenario if you are a smoker.
You know, when it pricked me the most, like, because your friends, family, wife, everybody will tell you, अरे stop smoking this, that, and you hear. But मैं ओमना के बच्चे के साथ खेल रहा था, ठीक है, जेन के साथ खेल रहा, हम लोग खेल रहे ये वो सडनली मेरे को बोलता what happened to you? So, Neville, what do you mean? Why are your gums purple? And I was like, huh? What happened? What happened? Then I went, and because of smoking, your gums start to get dark, right? Which is horrible. And a part of my gum was dark, where a child has looked at it, thought, "Meko seriously kuch ho gaya hai." Dude, when he said that, that fucking suddenly I'm like, ew, bro, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. It took a 4-year-old to.
You need motivations, na? Like one of my friends stopped smoking because उसका बेटे का डॉक्टर ने उसको बोला है कि सुन तेरा कपड़ा, तू सिगरेट भले ही ऑफिस में स्मोक करके आ रहा है लेकिन तेरे इस पे है थोड़ा बहुत, तो तेरा बेटा खा रहा है। तो परसों अगले दिन उसने बोला ये ले सिगरेट आउट, चलो भाई। तो या यू कांट cannot, but you need the motivation to do it, and then cold turkey, wow.
Yeah.
I think it's
And
really
what do you say to vegans if they can't have the cold turkey?
cold soy.
Plant-based.
Plant-based.
Lab grown.
But ठंडा खाना
Lab
होता है।
grown.
Yes.
हाँ।
इतना सा मिले दो लैब ग्रोन।
Other,
ये बहुत
what
चल रहा है
was
2024 में, बाय द वे, हर जगह
Yeah.
अभी लैब ग्रोन। आदर तू तो पेल रहा है लैब ग्रोन, कैसे लग रहा है तेरे को नकली खा के?
मैंने
Yeah,
कल
other
खाया।
liked it. He told me he ate one piece. He really couldn't tell the difference and all. Like in London.
Yeah, no, I had one yesterday, which is after
What did you have?
almost. I had Beyond Burger, and I've had it after almost like 2 months. So it's like one of those things. 2 महीना, 2.5 महीने बाद एक बार खा लो. It's become that because the fascination for it is gone for me. I've gone back to dal, roti, and tofu and that. वो बीच में था जब मैं लंदन आया था. It's so easily accessible. I was doing it, and it's actually very unhealthy. It's
The plant-based.
properly
अभी ये भी अनहेल्दी, अभी बचा क्या है भाई?
Yeah, it is,
मैं तो
it is.
थक गया हूँ।
I know
मैं थक
because
गया हूँ
it's
ये सुन के।
manufactured, na.
Ultra processed.
It's ultra processed because it's
Meaning,
mimicking
but Thakur,
something.
like, what part of मैंने सब्जी को चिकन जैसा टेस्ट कराया है?
हाँ।
What part of it did you think was अरे ये तो ठीक है यार?
1 second, और the one whole side is like, अरे बाप है, ये तो एक्चुअल झाड़ को लेके हम लोगों ने ये क्या है, ये तो हेल्दी भी है और उसमें रेड मीट के साइड इफेक्ट भी नहीं है, यही खाओ। दूसरे साइड पे
Healthy
ये
नहीं है।
बोल रहा है मत खाओ, वो हार्मफुल है।
हाँ,
I
it's
mean,
processed.
just-
It's properly processed. I'll be the first in line when that Singapore meat comes through, where the actually genetically created meat.
Bro,
So that's
सिंगापुर में they
gonna be.
made chicken out of chicken के feathers. So they've taken the feathers. अरे भाई feather भी तो है, feather के अंदर भी वही प्रोटीन है जो बॉडी में है।
अरे लेकिन हमारे घर के बाजू में
ये
जो
करके
ब्रॉयलर बेचता
हंग
है
करके-
उसके चिकन में भी फेदर्स आ रहे हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। डोंट वरी गाइस, इंडियंस आर अहेड ऑफ दिस।
No,
अबे उसके चिकन में feather आ रहे हैं, सिंगापुर के feather से चिकन बन रहा है। What came first, the egg or the chicken? The feathers. और feather से उसने मुर्गी बनाया भाई। ये सिंगापुर में कुछ अलग ही चल रहा
Are
है।
you saying the feather is the father of the chicken?
Yes.
Bro, can you imagine
Correct.
if they eventually make a sentient chicken out of feathers? And
Bhai.
it goes and meets a natural chicken, and they're like, "अरे तेरा बाप कौन है?" It's just-
और अगर ये सेंटिएंट फेदर मेड चिकन
Hmm.
मेट्स विद रेगुलर चिकन, ठीक है, तो उसका बच्चा कैसा निकलेगा भाई?
Yeah, and if it starts making music, then is it called punk rock?
Oh, fuck.
That's a very good one.
Wow. Sorry, what were we talking about? We were talking about 2024.
No,
I
I
don't
was
know
I was
where
gonna
we
ask
reached.
Adar, what was your 24 like?
My 24 was, so the first half was filming in London and then getting towards the end of filming, which was April, May. Extreme FOMO because I suddenly saw you guys touring. And I have finished filming on 12th May and got a flight to India on 15th May. And 16th May, I was sitting in Kautuk's house figuring
Yeah.
out uncensored how to be part of the show. And then it just went like, "Arey, chalo, touring. And it's just, now we have 2 separate shows.
Now you are Alan touring.
Good.
ये तू ही काट बाबा, ये तू ही काट.
No, this joke is going to stay. Alan touring is going to stay.
Firstly, don't call it a joke.
Yeah.
Because it really wasn't.
But this year has just been, I think I've traveled the most to India to and fro this year, and a lot with you guys.
Yeah, we've done a lot of travel. We'll come to that. We'll come to. I think that is a big feature of all four
Bro,
of our.
so
Uh,
before coming to London, we did 7 shows together, the 6 shows back to back in that one weekend. And मैं कल सुबह उठा हूँ and I have I panicked. I woke up thinking मेरे सपने में मेरे को आ रहा था कि Varun is calling me. He's downstairs in a car and we had to go to Pune and I've overslept. And I wake up with a start and I see Varun is actually calling me to coordinate this podcast for tonight. But it was just, I had to take some time and realize मैं कौन से बिस्तर में हूँ, कहाँ पे हूँ,
This
क्या
yeah.
रूम
this
है.
See, you should have
discombobulation.
at once known that it's a dream
Yeah.
because I was awake before you were and I was calling you. पहले अरे ये तो dream ही है रख दे नीचे वरना तू
हाँ.
उठ
Dude, but
जाएगी.
the other at the end of the tour, I remember this. It was such a bittersweet moment.
Hmm.
Like towards the end of the tour, when we had come back to Mumbai for our last two shows of Makasam, Adar just says this one line, and it's so loaded with everything that was going on in his life and mind. He just says, "I miss my bed."
Yeah,
He just said, "I miss my bed," and
bro.
it was such a like because he was genuinely living out of a suitcase for
Hmm.
like what
Months. Yeah.
months,
Like,
right? At this
so
point.
yeah, so I came back home for 1 month in the middle. Then उसमें भी we were going to Amsterdam, this, that. So I barely spent 20 days from May to now. I have spent 25 days at home.
Hey, 2025.
But like now that we talked about this, I think it makes sense to point it out here only, right? That this has possibly been one of the most uh, busy and successful. Thank you, AI. Successful years for TIS. Ever since we started, because finally getting a show on the road, something we've been wanting to do for ages.
Yeah.
Not only did we do that, we managed to get two IPs. We
Hmm.
did Uncensored and Markasam. So, like a big this goes to all you guys who
Yeah.
like bought the tickets, supported us, came for all the shows.
Yeah.
Honestly, like doing those shows again and again suddenly gave us a sense of also that fuck, we're back, because it's been a while since any of us had been on tour, and let alone a sold out successful tour across India, Europe, and UK. So thank you to everybody. And just gave me that sense that once we put our mind to it and we put a date कि नहीं इस पे कर रहे हैं, you just put your effort towards it and you work backwards, because a lot of people have that ability कि no, I will do proper time management, अभी से चालू करूंगा,
हम लोग
जून
नहीं है
हो
वो.
जाएगा ये नहीं. तो अगर हम लोग अभी ऐसे करेंगे वो जून का सितंबर का दिसंबर हो जाएगा. लेकिन अगर बोला शो 21 जून है,
Hmm.
हम लोग कुछ भी करके we'll make sure that we hit that spot. So I think
Just
that
to
was
give
a
context, the first two
great
shows
learning.
of Uncensored, Kautuk and Varun have sat in their room and written that entire first show and second show, and literally said, "Baba, please, just at some point come and hear the show." And then
Yeah.
we've made it so that I've discovered half the show on stage, partially the show on the thing, and then Adar comes, and Adar has only seen one YouTube link, bichara. He's seen one
Huh.
YouTube link and has come, and we've still made that show work. So yeah,
Dude, the
quite some.
ending of this Uncensored is, I
Hmm.
think, one of the most powerful moments I've had on stage. And I was all because, and I was doing nothing on stage. It was all other.
We were dancing while others
It
sang.
was,
हाँ.
it was so like goosebumpy that
Bro,
moment. It was
panic में
pretty
जो
good.
आया हूँ मैं, because I have never done 5 songs, because first show, oh, let's do 5 songs back to back on stage. That has never happened. You try one song at any comic, you've done jokes, you cushion jokes between other jokes that are already working. You just don't go, चलो अभी 5 गाना एक साथ,
Dude,
चल
can I
take.
can I tell you? Can I tell you one last insidey thing that I feel about Uncensored? Um, when Adar was writing the songs, one of the coolest moments for me was that when he was writing the songs, he brought it to the room we were all in, and he plays us the songs, and he goes like, this is what I'm thinking about. The coolest moment for me, because I've always wanted to be a musician, but I have had no talent or any
Is when
kind
you were
of
trying to write in the lyrics na, a little bit.
write the lyrics, but also it was Varun and I trying to just indicate to other what we kind of felt musically. So we were like, "Dekh, Adar, idhar na tang 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 tang." इधर थोड़ा टंग 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 टंग. And the beauty of Aadar is he got what we were trying to tell him.
Yeah.
He's like, tang 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 tang, got it. So
And-
you know,
Because
I felt
my family has had a habit of directors and producers just going, अच्छा इधर कुछ हाँ मिल जाएगा. Basically, I went into that mode. अच्छा तुम लोग
Dude,
producer, मैं
yeah,
बना रहा
exactly.
गाना.
To feel like the lowest, like C grade music producer of all time. Like it was
Yes, I
just
understand because you don't know. At least I have the words major, minor, something without knowing what they mean.
nothing.
That
We
is
just
worse,
felt
Baba.
I
That
know.
is worse because तू randomly
You're
कुछ भी बोल रहा
confusing,
है.
confuse कर रहा है तेरे को. I know.
we were
But
just telling
one
him
second.
thoda slow, thoda fast, thoda
I
upar,
also
thoda
want to,
niche.
sorry, I also want to talk about the tech checks that we have done across the world, trying to get others' guitar and voice in the same proportion. Holy shit! But what a tour!
Guys,
I feel
the tech
uncensored.
checks,
Yeah.
my tech checks were nothing compared to Baba trying to get O Jane Jana on time. My tech check would take 5 minutes and then Baba would take 10, 20 minutes to explain to these guys how O Jane Jana
Hey, not
pe
my
we
fault,
had to
yeah.
enter.
Not my fault, yeah. In that case, still I had to finally.
We I think we also like toured a lot together, which was great. It really does feel, although only one of us can actually play an instrument, it does feel like a band. And it was great. I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about all the stuff we've done on tour, but both Uncensored and Markasam. So Markasam also an unbelievable show, very different for us, very interactive, and it all came out of like very quickly in one. I think like when you're in a creative phase and you try to do something new, that also just the gears are already in place. So it just like kind of
And also
very,
you have an audience who wants to come out and watch you. That makes
Yeah.
such a big difference when for us to be able to put shows across India and hope that they sell out. And eventually Tis Army actually going out and selling those out gives that extra impetus to be able to
yeah.
Yeah, that
try out new stuff.
motivation. Yeah, that
Also,
motivation to not fail an audience which is coming to watch you. It's like that's why it's like अरे 21st किया, then it's not like अरे कुछ भी डाल दो. नहीं, it's about अरे डालना है and it has to be properly entertaining because
Yeah.
that is the fuse that has been lit.
yeah, and come 2025, we're going to do a Markasam audience version, guys. So get all your crazy, unbelievable, funny, random, interesting, weird stories ready because we're going to be doing a Markasam audience version where you guys get to come and tell your crazy stories on stage. So
Yeah,
start
with
prepping
lots of
and
guest performers.
we'll tell you
Lots of
stuff
guest
soon.
performers are going to come in like Neville Shah, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Other apart from this thing, any other things that happened in London, in India, I think spending time with family must have been fun.
Yeah, spending time with family was great. We did a trip back home. I did my first holiday, which I
What?
went to Bangkok
Ever?
with Aparna. In the last 3 years, we've not taken a vacation because we kept thinking London is the vacation. It's not. It's the place we live
London is
now.
the life.
So it's not vacation. We actually went to Bangkok and we
Correct.
did
लंदन में
nothing.
सब्जी लाना पड़ता है.
हाँ, हमने कुछ नहीं किया है. हमने बस बैठे, उठे, खाया है, फुट मसाज दिया है, वापस आके सो गए, पसर गए. That is all we've done for like an entire week. No sightseeing, nothing. That was a proper vacation after 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
अच्छा.
Thakur, what was your 2024 like?
Very first time that as your regular New Year resolution is कि Jan, मैं workout चालू करूंगा. Last year, same thing happened. 23. Towards the end, I was on tour. Amazon का शो हो रहा था ये वो. टाइम ही नहीं मिला, वर्कआउट किया ही नहीं. I had injured my wrist. That continued into अरे can't work out, take a break for a month, then got lazy. Jan, this year, 2024 Jan, I remember 12th Jan. I took the first 10 days because I was still in London last year. ठीक है, New Year वो सब खत्म करके आया. I told myself this year I'm working out as in like properly, but not working out for body, working out for your mind. It's a very small shift that you do. Earlier when you start, right, it's all like मैं ऐसे क्या करूं कि 4 दिन में मेरे बाइसेप्स आ जाए बड़े, मेरा चेस्ट आ जाए तो मैं एकदम ये लगूं. No, I actually literally this time took care of diet, going to the gym at least 4 times a week, at least 4 times. And it came to a point where it became such second nature that this is the longest stretch I've ever had in a gym. I've been working out, trying to work out since I was, 17? First gym membership I taken when I was 17 years old. I'm 37 now.
Wow.
तो 20 साल, हर साल अरे चल अभी ये ट्राई करता हूँ, 3 महीना 4 महीना फिर gone, 2 महीना gone. This is the longest stretch I've had, and it has made such a huge impact on me because I used to laugh at people who would count calories. Who were like, oh no, इसमें ऐसे क्या गिन रहा है, fuck off. But makes so much fucking difference because maintaining your body, your health, and actually physically seeing the difference that it makes, it is not tough. It is really not tough. And when you actually get down to doing it, अभी आदर अभी कितने 10 साल से कर रहा है, पर हम लोग हमेशा हंसते थे ना, ये बॉयल करके ला रहा है, वो करके ला रहा है, ये, but makes such a fucking big difference. And it's
So when I used to work out, this is when Thakur's sporadic phases of working out. तो बोलता है कि तू वर्कआउट कर रहा है कि नहीं, because Thakur used to be like, अरे ये हो गया कुछ करने का है. तो बोलता है तू आज किया because we are on tour. ठाकुर बोलता है हाँ मैं नहाते वक्त कर लेता हूँ पुशअप्स. So ठाकुर पानी ऑन करता है फिर पुशअप्स करता है.
ये पहले की बात है, अभी नहीं.
This is the sporadic working out phase. It's just
एक मिनट,
मैं किया 50 पुशअप.
तू बाथरूम में पुशअप कर रहा है?
हाँ
Bro,
क्योंकि
तुम मेरे को
पानी भर रहा
पूछी
है
मत,
बकेट
मैं
में
क्या
या जो
क्या
भी.
कहाँ क्या क्या किया है, ठीक है. नहीं, but I'm telling you, this time I have actually seen such a big change in the way I feel, the way I'm breathing, the way I'm waking up. Because as you're aging, shit is not going to get better, right? You're not going to be able to reverse
You're
anything.
telling me
You
I have
can
a
slow down the
backache that's
process,
taking.
exactly.
I have a backache that's taken 3 weeks to go away, bro.
No, bro, I've been fully taped now, क्योंकि उस दिन करने गया, बेंचो 20 किलो एक्स्ट्रा मारो, ये हो गया है.
नहीं,
Right?
mine is तो living. I was in a car from Bombay to Pune and it's happened. So what?
No, that's not a good thing. That's what I'm trying to say. That as you age, shit like that is going to happen to you. So you can't be somebody who's, oh, I'm climbing stairs, I'm halfway. Oh, I sat in a car, my back is hurting. Because it is an inevitability. क्या बोलते हैं उसको यार?
Inevitability.
Inevitability. ठीक है?
हाँ.
But how you reach it, how much you can collect. My recovery is very fast. I know this is hurting, but ये एक हफ्ते में ठीक हो जाएगा.
अच्छा, स्पीकिंग ऑफ दैट, ये जो एजिंग का है, ब्रायन जॉनसन who's become and he came to India also. तो ब्रायन जॉनसन is the guy trying to reverse his aging. He's still got the body of like whatever 46 years old है, but
he
he's trying
spends
to
$1 million a fucking month on himself.
2 billion, नहीं 2 million a year. That's what he's come to. 2 million a year. अपने बेटे के प्लेटलेट्स भी डाल रहा था बीच में अपने.
Sorry, yeah.
अरे he's being very economical. But वो इंडिया है, and इंडिया में he's been roaming around with a air purifier machine everywhere. कि होटल में भी अपना purifier. So all his selfies in like places are with like that massive air purifier that's reducing the EQI in the area that he's sitting at. So first of all, why you would do that risk? अभी तूने इतना किया है, तो 2 दिन दिल्ली में निकाला. Oh shit, I've aged 7.5 years.
You've aged 16 years. All your money, all your research.
पूरा तेरा 2 मिलियन वेस्ट हो गया भाई. अभी चल सिगरेट पी. मालूम पड़ा ब्रायन जॉनसन को गुड़गांव में बैठ के, मैं पहले यंगेस्ट ह्यूमन बीइंग था, अभी मैं ठेके ले.
मैं ब्रायन जॉनसन का मैं ये ब्रायन जॉनसन का इमेज ढूंढ रहा हूँ, मिसाला मिल नहीं रहा है ऑफ हिम इन इंडिया.
उसको और उसके बेटे को तो आजू बाजू देखेगा ना, भाई लगते हैं तो.
या
ठीक है. I'm surprised he doesn't walk around in that giant, वो एक रबर बॉल आता है where तू देखा है वो वाले
बबल
गेम्स होते हैं उसमें.
माइकल जैक्सन जिसमें सोता था. माइकल जैक्सन used to sleep in a
he used to sleep in an oxygen chamber or something.
Yeah, in one
not in a
chamber he used
bubble.
to sleep. Yeah.
I'm talking about a
He's
fucking
talking about
plastic
the
ball,
golf
जिसमें
ball.
हाँ, जैसे
But
वो
Thakur,
आँख में जाते हैं.
the thing that you said about fitness, I fully concur. I have also, so with me, obviously, what happened was that got into fitness for many reasons. One of them, the most biggest driving factor was that like you want to be active and healthy to have like you need a lot of energy to keep up with a growing child, like a lot of energy. And at some point, like here's the thing, right? So you're sitting on the floor and Ira's beside me, and I'm playing with Ira, and then at some point she just toddles away. And then when I have to get up to follow her, when you go, Arey! that's when I realized
When you start feeling you're in a move ad and you are the person whose
Exactly.
injury needs to get solved, you're like, nope, time to
Yeah,
change.
yeah, it's
So
that, and then
I started going to the gym properly again, much like Thakur this year.
And guys, I'll tell you
And
one thing, and this is from observing Kautuk from close quarters, because
Wow.
literally from
he has
from
gone to the gym in a
October through
hotel and all.
December, we are pretty much together like at least 2 to 3 times a week, more often than not on tour and traveling. And you know, all the jokes and all the memes about Kautuk eating chakli, Nutella, sandwich, this, that is all a thing of the past. It is
yeah,
all a thing of the past, so much so that we have not made those jokes on Kautuk because this guy right now wakes up and eats boiled egg.
Yeah.
He said, मैं रोटी नहीं खाऊंगा इसमें carbs है and पता नहीं एकदम. But to see Kautuk also change, and not for a day or two, like you've been doing it religiously,
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's the
3 4
toughest to
months.
do it on tour, right? Because on tour you're like, चल भाई, show sold out, मजा आया, killer, let's go kill it. But we've all sort of like collectively been able to control it, take that health into your cognizance, and like approach it that way for whatever
करना
reason you
पड़ेगा.
came to it with.
This is my year of fitness, guys. Don't worry.
Dude, on tour, I for the first time in my life, I
I've
have
gone to the
packed
gym.
my gym shorts and a t-shirt. And this I saw Aadar do once when we were in some hotel. And I was like, fuck, yeah, that's, and we all made fun of him. We all went, "Arey, tu gym hai, pagal, baithna, TV dekh." Like, and now, and this is the arc, right? You started the year like that. And then at the end of the year, I have packed my gym shorts. I have packed a gym shirt. And I've been badgering Aadar, चलना,
हाँ
2 बजे
चलना
जाएगा
11
जिम
बजे
करने.
बोलते हैं 11 बजे रात को जिम चल 2
चल.
बजे रात को जिम जाते हैं खाली ट्रेडमिल करेंगे
Yeah.
So yeah, I fully agree. Concur 100%.
So,
But
100%.
Kautuk,
but
did you have?
off the top of your heads, what was your what do you think was the biggest moment according to you of 2024? If you had to reflect 2024 biggest moment, ऐसे तुम लोगों के दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है?
I have
Kautuk, do
only
you have
one.
a moment? Kautuk, do you have a moment? I wonder.
I have a moment. The moment happened on 20th Feb of 2024.
Ah.
And the
What
birth
happened?
of
Tell us.
Ira. The birth of Ira, hands down. Like, I was wondering, was it watching Deadpool versus Wolverine?
or Ira's birth
It was there is that, like, nothing will ever eclipse that. So like the this year for me, like there's a lot of moments that people say are life changing, and they say it as an exaggeration, hyperbole, trying to make something out of something that isn't really there. But becoming a parent is 100%.
Yeah.
Like, life changing doesn't cover what it is. So it's actually underplaying what that moment is. Like, your the way you live your life, the way you think about life, the way you feel connected to not just your baby, but your baby becomes a way to connect to the world. Because suddenly, in that one instance, you have to care about everything, because everything is connected to you and your kid. So you begin to look at everything very differently. The stakes are really that high, which you don't consider when you're just a person out in the world living alone. You do not consider those things. The way that, like, there is a responsibility that you are now not looking at as a responsibility, but just something that you have to do because, like, it's not a chore anymore. It's just
It's life.
it's just
way of
just
life हाँ
it's life. And I feel like there's a lot of, one thing that I feel in this year that has changed for me is there is this things like what Brian Johnson and stuff. There's a version of that people do where they hanker for a past, right? Because that was a better time, easier life, etc., etc. I feel like after Era, I don't think of wanting to go back or be anyone before or anything like that. Like, it just feels like life it gets harder, but it gets more meaningful. So, and that is the crux of it. That's what you want it. Like, that's what you should not shy away from or like be afraid of or like whatever. And these are things that, I mean, I'm saying because I used to think that way. Like, oh, it'll get more complicated, it'll get this thing. But as you as you begin to experience it, you begin to realize that this is uh, like more and more of the stuff you want in your life. Like it just there's a lot of fuzziness and distraction that just becomes very focused. You become like there's a clarity that comes with a kid, and which is very like strange and nice too. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to tell you
So
is
Kautuk started saying no a lot. I know for a fact. So Kautuk, recently we used to do a lot of random shit. Like, oh, चलो ये भी कर लेते हैं, ये random show भी कर लेते हैं. No, Kautuk is hyper focused now with like if the show has a relevant motive, then he'll do it. I've seen that change in the way he approaches like work now. It's like,
yeah,
no,
you
you want to do this random writing project for a while? It's like, no, if it's specific to this, I have
your
only so many
priorities
hours.
become so perfectly stacked.
Yeah.
And I guess what I was essentially, if I had to boil everything down to one line, it would be to say that 2024 for me has been about welcoming maturity, in a sort of like a very like positive way. Because like a lot of our job is about not being very mature. It's
Correct.
So
so to
basically,
kind of
2025 is bye bye Jawar Puff. That's
no,
what
and
2020.
the thing is, I wouldn't say bye bye Jawar Puff, because Jawar Puff in the end is still a healthy snack. But a lot of my
Yeah.
chocolate samosa sandwich. Yeah, goodbye to
Oof.
all of that. Goodbye to all of that stuff. Yeah. What else? What has been the biggest one thing for you guys?
I think career-wise for me this year, I would feel like personal front, everything great, touch wood, no problem, सब कुछ मस्त चल रहा है. But career-wise, I feel like this year, like two of those things happened that for me was like right up there with why I want to do certain things, like getting to host the cricket T20 World Cup ke time pe, like calling games when like the last over is going on, albeit from a host perspective, not on air, but still being on a part of the telecast that includes my face being there, being with cricketers you've grown up watching was insane. And like one of these things didn't come out, but I did some stuff for Mumbai Indians. It didn't end up coming out because last year, like 2024, wasn't the best for Mumbai Indians. So
I know the stuff that you've done. I can
yeah,
validate it. We
Baba
were
Mila
on
na mere
set.
ko set pe. But for me to be able to go hang out with these players who I fucking love, Mumbai Indians franchise I love, then going on to do the World Cup again with cricketers you've grown up watching. I think professionally that was like top. मेरे को अंदर से जो चाहिए था कि फक क्रिकेट में ये क्यों नहीं करने मिलता है यार और मिला करने तो एक वो था एंड आई थिंक व्हाट वी मैनेज टू अकम्प्लिश विद टिस आई थिंक दीज टू like I think things like these are very important so that because as being in our profession you are always suffering through that imposter syndrome. There's times when you're like एक मिनट मेरा कुछ नहीं चल रहा है ये नहीं बेटर है वो नहीं हुआ है ये फनी नहीं है ये आइडिया नहीं आ रहा है. So to end up actually doing work that is meaningful, that really pushes you in your comfort zone, out of your comfort zone, I think that was very much needed. And ये दोनों for me I think was top highlight professionally of
Yeah.
2024. मजा आया
Nice.
करके.
Meko, I've just come to one massive realization, which was yesterday, because people started asking me, like, Kya, what's your New Year resolution? And I've come to this massive one, which is I want to learn nothing new in 2025.
Nice.
I
Nice.
just want to do the shit that I know properly.
Nice.
That is all. I want to learn
You
nothing, no
please,
new
for this,
information.
what I want you to do is restrict your credit card from shopping on 90% electronic sites. Just stop
Ah.
that. You stop that. One thing you stop.
No, but that's a great one, Adar. That's a great one.
Uh,
Like the pressure of doing new things. At
Yeah.
some point, like it's wonderful when you're young and you have to know things. That's amazing. You should do it. You should
Yeah.
do it, double down on it. But at some point in your life,
You're like,
you
bus.
have to come to this realization. You have to, because at some point you have to realize that to get good at something, you gotta say no to everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Bye.
great one.
So for me, there were a couple of things, personally as well. But professionally, I'll just put this one thing in perspective. When I was switching jobs, you all know how much being a director means to me, or like I've always wanted to do it. और मेरे को पता है hopefully मैं एक फीचर फिल्म तो बनाएगा, राइट? लाइक कुछ भी हो जाए, मैं एक तो बनाएगा जिंदगी में। ये आई एम जस्ट सेइंग इट आउट लाउड, प्रोबेबली फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम पब्लिकली, बट मैं एक तो बनाएगा। वरुण, यस, रोल, डोंट वरी।
मैंने बोला ही नहीं।
You were looking expectantly.
But it's
I think
assumed.
ये बात-
It's assumed.
your face becomes only like that. कोई पिक्चर बनाने का बात करता है तो वरुण का चेहरा ही ये, मैम, मैम,
मैम,
मैम। Oh. So yeah, like I was saying that, but there was a big, one of the things that made me sort of feel like, okay, this is something that I should do, or I should take the job before I actually do advertising, because I've really been through turmoil when I was making that decision. Should I go here or should I not? And there was just one thing that sort of drove that decision, is that मेरे को लाइफ में ना कभी एक चीज खत्म करनी है. And by this, what it means is, like my mom always used to tell me कि साला, you start something, never finish it. तू karate start किया, तू finish नहीं किया. Finish means what? Like go to black belt, right? Like, or whatever. तू swimming start किया तो Olympic medal. That's the pressure that we used to have, right? Like तू cricket खेल रहा है तो तू इंडिया के लिए क्यों नहीं खेल रहा है? तू ये, like it was always, why haven't you finished what you've started? In like I played the
So
piano.
you can't ever approach anything as hobby.
yeah.
Not in the 80s or 90s, I assume. So I played the piano like grade 3, I gave up. Guitar, I gave up. So it just felt like studying at some point, I gave up. So at some point I just said that maybe one of the ways to look at this is, like, if you are getting a C-suite role in advertising, you at least probably checkboxed it and finished it. So it just felt like it was the right thing to do. And
Finish
also,
advertising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Baba
no,
will
no.
end advertising, but he will not stop till
it's going to
advertising
end it on
ends.
it's going to end on its own.
Yeah.
only.
तो
But
कॉटलर क्यों नहीं बना भाई?
नहीं,
हाँ,
कॉटलर
नहीं है।
मार्केटिंग है, फर्क है उसमें. But I just feel that, like, I don't
He
know,
wants
there
to be
was a
burned
certain
back.
yeah, I don't mind being burned back. But I just feel that there was a thing, and then we can do.
When O&M becomes O and B. It's Ogilvy, Mather, and Bawa. That's when it ends.
Anyway, so yeah, so then I decided that maybe this is the right thing to do for now, and then make a feature film a little later with a little bit more experience. But yeah, so
I'll tell you what is more important. What you just said, when you said मैं बोल देता हूँ, it's another thing that I've learned from Nikita. Okay, this year, by the way, Cambridge word of the year is manifest. ठीक है?
Manifest.
Because it's a word you've
Manifest.
heard being thrown around. Everybody is manifesting, and again, like most people,
सब
you
लोग
make fun of
manifest.
it. अबे manifest कर, अरे तू ये कर, अरे तू ऐसा कर. And I've seen a lot of people around me actually doing it. I've seen her. Okay, last year, literally, she made a vision board. Again, things you would laugh at. अरे ये क्या है, अभी तू इसमें बैठ के स्टिकर लगा रही है, तू फोटो लगा रही है, ये वो. Bro, literally all the things that she has put there have sort of happened in some way for her. Whatever she had in her mind, and she has put it out there, put it out in the thing. You managed to attract it.
Can I, like, my spin on the thing, my understanding of it at least, is that the way that manifesting, and I think it's real in the sense that I think a lot of times what happens with people is that it's not that they don't have the ability, it's just that they get distracted. And I feel like the whole manifesting culture, the vision board and all of that, I like that idea because it just keeps your mind like focused
towards
on
that.
those few
Yes.
Things.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
21st
like,
November, Makasam. That's literally
exactly
the panic that you have.
The chaos board that we had. But
Yeah.
the what I was getting at is that the fact that, like, even when I look back at this year, right, if you try to actually recollect the year, you will begin to realize that you have a very slippery grasp on how time goes by.
Yeah.
You cannot remember shit accurately, properly, and like month by month, week by week, you are actually changing as a person. Like, like as new info, like, for example, in this year, we shifted houses. So I was speaking to a friend and we had spent New Year's together in my old house. And as we were recollecting that New Year's, right, suddenly it just occurred to me, because we've shifted houses, that New Year's felt like it wasn't last year, it was 2-3 years back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because the location has changed. So you're constantly evolving. You have a very, very, very loose understanding of your own hopes and desires, right? They keep like changing, like it's like trying to catch a fish from the water. So to have that vision board, it just kind of gives you a coherence.
Yeah.
And that is
And to constantly keep putting it out there, bro. She wakes up every morning, she'll go to the balcony, she'll do her morning affirmations, where she'll literally go out, and that's what she tells me to do as well. I try and follow through more often than not, where it's
क्या
literally
बोलता है ठाकुर?
भाई बोलने का नहीं होता, खुद जाके बोल।
वल्ला affirm
ठीक है,
करना।
जो तेरे को चाहिए तेरे जिंदगी में, तेरे हेल्थ
एक
के
तो
लिए, वर्क वाइज, whatever
आज
you
बिना
want.
सिगरेट के पॉटी करने का है। आज बिना सिगरेट के पॉटी करने का
मैं बिना सिगरेट के ही पॉटी करता हूँ. I don't need for potty. I don't need
Aadar,
cigarette.
I just had a vision of Thakur getting up in the morning, going out into his balcony with his coffee and just going, हम एक बार जीते हैं, एक बार मरते हैं, प्यार भी एक ही बार होता है.
But that's the wrong affirmation. That's the wrong affirmation.
That's such a bad affirmation कि सब कुछ एक ही बार है.
No,
And
it
if you
is-
mess it up, you're fucked.
It is आदि, क्या तुम मुझे मेरी अपनी जिंदगी से एक मूवी नहीं दे सकते?
हाँ, मैं तो मांगा है, मैं पिक्चर मांगा, शो मांगा, अपने जो शो लिखा वो हो जाए, वो मांगा, health, family.
No, but this is
You
it, right?
literally
Like
just
when
say it
someone
out, bro.
says,
You say it out.
when
You
someone says
literally
manifest,
verbalize it.
when someone says manifest or affirmation, this is what happens. Like people around you we all tend to mock it, right? Like it's
No, but that's normal. Everybody does it. I used to do that too, but I've seen actually people around me. I'm not saying that is the sole reason why.
या
they
ऐसा
happen.
नहीं है कि तू
ऐसा
बोला
नहीं है।
और फिर कुछ
और
किया
कुछ
नहीं
किया नहीं उसके
में.
बारे में. You know what I mean? Like you want to have
Can I-
success as a comedian, but you don't put एक पैसे का effort नहीं आने वाले सिर्फ बोलने से. देखो बोलना भी है, करना भी है.
करना भी है.
Of a hope.
You can't
And-
let the manifest fester.
No, so the one thing I want to add to this is that I know we've made all the jokes, right? But here's what I think. I feel like no matter what you want to do, if it's affirmation, manifestation, whatever else you truly believe in, I feel like if you believe in it, just do it no matter what anybody else is saying. Because sincerity is a superpower and it needs to make a comeback in 2025 because
क्योंकि
without
कोई चीज
sincerity,
को अरे sorry.
without sincerity, there is no authenticity. None.
100%. Just keep fucking at it. Just keep fucking doing it. और उसका निकलने वाला है कुछ अच्छा तेरे लिए.
बोलते हैं ना किसी चीज को सच्चे दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात.
शिद्दत.
Yeah, manifestation.
Yeah.
कायनात
Ultimately, it's
शिद्दत.
all Bollywood. It's all Shah Rukh Khan and Bollywood guys.
उसने भी बोला था कि उसको सबसे मस्त घर चाहिए, उसको बैंड स्टैंड पे घर चाहिए, उसको मिला ना मन्नत. किया ना मेहनत.
ये उसका
मेहनत
मन्नत
फिर
ही था ना.
मन्नत. मेहनत फिर
तो
मन्नत.
बेसिकली दारू का बॉटल लेके अपना अफर्मेशंस करो, सच हो जाएगा.
No.
No. Oh, so this is the wrong lesson from Shah
फिर तू
Rukh Khan.
ठेके पे मिलेगा, चूती है.
Okay.
Okay, guys, that was a recap of 2024 of our lives, things that we have learned, the biggest moments, biggest highs and the lowest of lows. In the next episode, which is part 2 of 2024 recap, we're going to see how 2024 was across the world. तो ये हमारी स्टोरी थी. अगले एपिसोड में मिलते हैं जहां पर दुनिया में 2024 में क्या हुआ. We'll figure that out. And thank you so much for watching. That's it from this episode. See you now when you press part 2.
Why will they press now? Part 2 will come later.
No, it's all coming back to back.